Hello, it's me, Observatories. Also, tell. Just sitting there thinking, am I going back in time to when I was a freshman? Because I got this little blemish here. And I had to go put some cream on it. It's been a minute since I've had that happen to me. And then I come across somebody's channel on TikTok. And they've got a really unique personality. Their name's Luke. And all of a sudden they noticed that they've got a blemish in the exact same spot, and I noticed they can't stop messing with it, and they're like poking at it and stuff, and I'm just sitting there thinking, I just want to put on there, hey, leave your blemish alone unless you're putting cream on it. Don't worry about that. Stop worrying about that little appearance issue you have going on, because I could tell it was just starting to form when you feel it, because mine did, and stuff. And then how the world is, we both just ended up getting one in the same spot. He's probably in a different time zone than I am, but the fact that we did, and how many other people experience these things all of a sudden. Like, okay, the two of us got one in the same spot, but who else, has got one in that spot? And yeah, it's kind of cool, and I love the uniqueness, and I noticed he's got a lot of people that follow him, and I could see why, because more people just need to be into themselves and stuff. And someone tried to test him, like, I dare you to sell cussword. And I admired the fact they said, like, why should I? Respond back with a question. I love sometimes answering someone's question with a question, okay? You're going to question this, but I want to know why. Or do I want to answer, Because not everything needs an answer, not every day needs to be done. But staying true to you is what's remarkable. And if everyone stopped the fighting of one another and hating on one another, and did things to build their journeys and their self-esteem for themselves, we could have a better place, you know what I mean? Because what are you doing in helping victims, truly, with certain things, if you're out in the streets destroying stuff? So I'm going to bring that talk up. If you want to go ahead and bash up things, graffiti all over things, make fires, do all that, I mean, that's on you. That's your towns, your cities. But tell me, how is that helping that little 4-year-old or 5-year-old little girl or boy? How is it helping that elderly lady? Or that elderly man, or that person in a wheelchair? When your little rant and protest decides to go boy, and they're trying to walk in them streets or that sidewalk. You truly want to say about the hearts and things, right? And you want to bring things up, like No King's Day and all this, okay? And I hear our president laughing, like, I'm not a king, the only king's up there, right? Okay? Just so happens his birthday ends up being on the 14th, which is Flag Day. Also so happens, yes, this parade that was done, I didn't get to watch it, okay? I did see snippets of it that went through for, our army and stuff, right? Our military, right? And go back, okay, how many years for our military, and when have we had parades and things for them? Also, guys, when was this planned? How long ago was it planned? It was planned way before our president got into office. I stand here, neither Republican or Democrat. as someone who is awake, someone who loves people for the individualness that you are. And so many people, they were trying to find themselves or be this or be that. But so many I see are truly not that, and they're in these fads. And you've got different people that are, okay, you got the groups of furries. I'm not dissing you guys at all, okay? And then you've got your groups of this. I'm just using, different ones of examples. But think to yourself, is that truly you? Or is that what you've come to know because that's what's been embedded in you, what you've watched, what you've seen, that's brought you to feel these certain ways. These certain ways you're expressing yourself, the way you act, the way you dress, the way you present yourself. Is it truly your unique self? Or is it fragments of things that you've been around that have created this environment that's got you feeling this is who you are? It's time we embrace who we are and not what the narratives are. It's time we start thinking of others and putting ourselves in them shoes. So when you want to go out there and cause that chaos because you're trying to make a stand, because you feel nothing's going to be done unless you cause that little bit of anarchy. Think, like I said, about that elderly person, that person in a wheelchair. Think about that child. Think about all the people who have lost their lives. A grandfather, I can tell you, one who I never got to meet, who died in the Korean War. He was too big to get out of the tank and wasn't able to get out of his tank. And his tank ended up exploding. That grandpa that came here, whose family came from Italy, back when they were prejudiced very much against Italians, even here in the States. But they left Italy for certain reasons back then and came here and settled. That grandpa from El Dorado, Illinois, who I've only got to see in photos, got to hear about, and even got to witness the men that fought with him by his side in Detroit, Michigan. In Detroit, Michigan, back before it became really run down. It was a leader of car manufacturers and stuff. And got to know quite a bit about some cars because of one of my grandpas, my grandpa John, who was an auto mechanic and going to auto shows. But anyway, I went with my grandma and her sister, my Aunt Judy, who I love dearly, who's no longer with us, nor my grandma. Because her other sister, who's also no longer with us, Judy, wasn't able to go. So I said, yay, I'll take the opportunity and go with two people I love to try to learn a little bit more about the grandpa I also love, who never got to meet. And the guys that sat at the table with us, that we got to have dinner with, because they were trying to identify some of the people's remains that they had found, and they were needing blood work done. They teared up, the two men, when they were telling the story about my great-grandfather. Okay? People like those we should be showing respect for by not destroying what they fought to give their lives for all of us to have a safer home and a safer place. I'm going to end this here before it gets too far, because I don't want it to go over 10 minutes. But think with your actions and not with the narratives they tell you need to be doing. And what you're doing, is it helping? Use logic, use reason. This is observatories and this is tell.